Mermaid Chez Monique. This week, our affirmation is I honor my need for rest. When you hear that, like, what do you think? What does the idea of resting evoke in you? Is it something where you're like, oh, I wish I had time to rest? Or is it like, yes, rest is my friend? Like, how do you feel about rest? Since we're talking about rest, I decided to go for a decaffeinated tea. So we're doing Yogi Tea's Kava Stress Relief. I like this tea a lot. One of my favorite things about Yogi Teas in general is that they have little quotes on the tea bag. And so this one says, lift up others with your peaceful presence. That's something I try to do. And then this one says, the principal ingredient of life is love. So the Kava Stress Relief has cinnamon, kava, what else is in here? Cinnamon, kava, sarsaparilla, and carob. So it's kind of spicy, a little earthy, and very flavorful. The quote in my calendar says, I honor my body's need for rest. But sometimes it's our body that needs rest, but sometimes it's our mind, and sometimes it's our soul, right? And so I decided that the affirmation for this week is I honor my need for rest. So I always say, like, sometimes you got to take a break or you're going to break down, right? Our bodies need to recharge. And frankly, there's nothing that produces, with the exception, I guess, no, I was going to say of plants, but even plants have a cycle where they go dormant and, like, you know, the leaves fall off and, like, they have a rest cycle. So there's nothing that produces that doesn't need rest. We haven't even figured out a way to have technology that just goes nonstop. And I'm sure we've all had those moments where some device we use and we forget to, you know, turn it off from time to time. It's just acting up, and it's like, oh, maybe it just needs a little reset. Sometimes we do too. And you can incorporate rest, both the sleep that your body needs for restoration, but also mindful moments and times away from technology and more active resting for your mind and spirit. I don't think there is a single spiritual practice that doesn't recommend some version of prayer or meditation. And both prayer and meditation bring you into a quiet, restful, and contemplative state. Regardless of what tradition you follow, these are kind of high tier, but like easy to do things, but also easy to forget things. Me and my meditation practice, I used to do it online with y'all, but we're a little touch and go. And, but when I do it, it's like, oh yeah, why don't I do this more? So meditation and prayer is a beautiful way to kind of rest your body and soul. And then there's other things that are just like kind of more mindful, less stimulating activities that allow you to have, you know, your synapses flow and tap into your creativity. And so maybe just sitting outside, listening to the sound of the rain, or doing something like a puzzle, or actually engaging in a conversation, but without trying to multitask. Like, in modern society, we're always doing so much that sometimes just doing one thing can actually be restful, right? Like watching TV without also being on your phone. You know, just sitting there and engaging, like I said, in the conversation. Taking a walk, not with the goal of like pushing as hard as you can, but just being present and taking note of what's around you. Doing a puzzle, coloring. I am coming out with some coloring sheets with these affirmations on them soon. I'm really excited about that. And I feel like coloring is such a beautiful mindfulness exercise. And my friend artist Elle Marie was telling me that she thinks people get really good like sensory input from the friction of like the process of the coloring that it's very soothing for folks. And so those are things you can do that are both, you know, like active but restful. Active rest is something one of my trainers love to talk about. It's like, okay, lift all these weights, now go do a light jog for your active rest. And then there's the fact that we do actually need to sleep and prioritize our sleep hygiene. And the thing is, I think we all get pushed to do more, do more, do more, do more, do more. And we forget that it is when we rest and allow ourselves to restore and regenerate that sometimes the great idea comes, that sometimes, you know, we're actually able to do more because we're well rested. And of course, we're just better people when we're well rested. I'm sure we've all done something we regretted when we were sleep deprived. And so whether you are a leader or just a person who engages with other humans, everybody likes you a little bit better. And you show up as you're a better version of yourself when you're well rested. So we'll be chatting all week about rest and taking care of ourselves. I love you so much. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Find some moments. I like to just stop and sneak in a couple little deep breathing breaks throughout my day. And I mean, like, I'm taking 90 seconds for myself, but it does help me reset and restore. So you have a wonderful day where you prioritize you, and I will holler at you later. Boop, 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 boop. Cheers.